So in a live stream this morning, I mentioned that if you're wrong, you should admit it and apologise if necessary. And so this is one of those occasions. Yesterday in the first part of my video, I said I couldn't understand why this innocuous Father's Day ad was pulled from the air. The explanation given by the producers of the ad Dads for Kids was that it had been deemed to be a political statement. The article I cited yesterday from the Herald claimed that Free TV Australia, the industry group which represents the commercial free-to-air networks, would not broadcast the ad as it likely contained political matter. But that's not the full story. That quote appears to be lifted out of context. Now, in my own defence, I did Google Free TV Australia for the full quote yesterday, but didn't find anything. But subsequent to my search, other sources have showed up. So Free TV denies that they have blocked or banned the ad for being too political. They state, the advertiser was requested but declined to add an identification tag to the commercial to comply with Schedule 2 of the Broadcasting Services Act. The Broadcasting Services Act requires broadcasters to ensure that commercials that contain political matter identify the body responsible for the commercial, including the speakers in the commercial. Free TV Australia said political matter was defined as anything appearing to comment on, encourage participation in, or attempt to influence a certain outcome within a political process. So you might be saying to yourself, so what? There was nothing political in the ad. But Free TV Australia, noted recent decisions by regulatory body, the Australian Communications and Media Authority, required broadcasters to consider the content of websites referred to in commercials when deciding if they contain political matter. In its ad, Dads for Kids provides a link to its website, dadsforkids.org.au. So it's not the content, it's the link to the website. And Dads for Kids has since closed the website down, citing concerns of intimidation and vilification. But that's a weak defence. If you're not promoting a political position on same-sex marriage on your site, then why close it down? Now, I was able to check an archived web page of the site back in February of this year, and as you can see, there are a huge number of links. I checked some of them, but I couldn't find any mention of same-sex marriage. However, my search was by no means exhaustive. A website called Pink News claims that the founder of Dads for Kids, Warwick Marsh, has a long record of anti-LGBT activism. They quote him as saying, "Those who loudly proclaim their support for homosexual marriage are engaged in a war against the most defenceless in our society, our children. To remove a child's right to their biological parents is tantamount to child abuse. Sometimes in life such tragedies occur, but government should never be party to such diabolical discrimination of those who cannot speak for themselves." So I did a search for those quotes and was able to find a cached version of a media release from fatherhood.org.au, which quotes Warwick Marsh, CEO of Dads for Kids, with those exact aforementioned quotes. Also in 2014, Dads for Kids made a submission to an inquiry on the Recognition of Foreign Marriages Bill, in which they said, quote, "The Recognition of Foreign Marriages Bill in 2014 is a blatant attack on the rights of the children of Australia to remove their rights to a mother and a father and to superimpose the rights of 1.6% of the adult population." Now, you might agree with everything Warwick Marsh and Dads for Kids has said about same-sex couples and the rights of children. You can also disagree with the new regulatory standards from the Australian Communications and Media Authority about the content of website links. But that's beside the point. The fact is they were asked to comply and they didn't. And I don't buy that they didn't have the funds to make this tiny change to their ad. Dads for Kids tried to play the victim here and pretend they don't have any political motivations, which clearly they do. And attempts to explain this away as activists trying to shut them down is disingenuous at best. So I have to cop to jumping the gun on this one. I didn't do my homework and got it wrong. So I'll do my best to avoid making that mistake again. I'll see you next time.